I bless you. I speak grace, favor, peace, multiplication, and increase over your life. I do it now in the name of Jesus. And I pray that you would multiply, have abundance, increase, grow, prosperity, favor everywhere over your finances. I pray that God would multiply your seed sown as you give to this ministry, as you give to the missionary projects that we're involved in around the world. I want to thank God for you. I bless you. So again, if you want to sow, partner with me anytime during the broadcast. If what I'm sharing is blessing you, you're learning, you're growing, you're receiving, then consider partnering with me financially. We're doing a lot around the world, blessing the poor, blessing those who have great needs, and the testimonies and salvations that are resulting are really amazing. We're going to give you an update tonight in the John Eckhardt Missions Room in Clubhouse, myself and Dr. Patricia Bailey, and give you some of the details of some of the amazing things that are happening in different parts of the world. So again, thank you so much for those who have been sowing and those who have been giving into these projects, and those who have joined us and being a part of this particular porch gathering today. Now, the porch is taken from Solomon's porch, where the early believers met. It's a time that we gather here on social media and we have discussion. And today I've been sharing a series from Lessons from Ecclesiastes. And I'm going to give you a verse that has been something that I've studied for many years. And it's a verse that I'm still digging into. And it's Ecclesiastes 9:11. It says this: "And I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happens to them all." Time and chance happens to them all. So this is an interesting verse. It says that you can be the fastest and yet not win the race. You can be the strongest and not win the battle. You can be the wisest and not have prosperity. You can be a person of understanding and not have riches. And even you can be skillful and not have a certain degree of favor. Why? Because all of us are subject to time and chance. All of us are subject to time and chance. And so just because you are the most talented, you're the most skillful, you're the smartest, does not necessarily mean that you will end up on top in some situations. Now, we know that there are principles that we can live by that do guarantee success. I believe in the principles of God that do cause success and breakthrough. But I want to dive into this time and chance. Time and chance. Time and chance. Now, sometimes success is based on being in the right place at the right time. There's some people that are successful because they happen to be in the right place at the right time, or met the right person at the right time, or just been born in a particular time. Think of this. There are people that are born during an evil time. I often think about the time of slavery, when African Americans were enslaved. Can you imagine the millions of people that never had the opportunities that we have today because they lived in slavery? They lived under a system that oppressed them. They were born during a time in which blacks did not have rights, did not have basic human rights. And if you were born in that time, it was much more difficult for you to get ahead or even to prosper. It wasn't because you didn't have skill or you weren't valuable or you didn't have knowledge, but it was because you were just born in an evil time. The time was not conducive. Now, I really think that this scripture really humbles us, because it shows us that sometimes success, breakthrough is not dependent on how much skill you have, how much talent you have, how smart you are, how strong you are, how fast you are. sometimes it's dependent on time and chance. I like to look at chance as opportunity. Many people, they have opportunities that come in their life that gives them the ability to break through. Some people don't have the same opportunity. They don't have the same chance. The question is, do you understand time and chance? Do you understand that God can give you a particular time that gives you a particular opportunity or a chance in life, a chance for success, a chance for breakthrough? And when those chances come, do you take advantage of them? Or how many people miss the time and miss the opportunity? They let it go by because they don't take advantage of it. How many people are the victims of an evil time or something that happens, a chance happening in their life, a car accident, the victim of something? They just happen to be in a place where something happened and they were the victim of it. And their whole life is thrown off course because of an accident, because of being a victim. A few weeks ago, there was in Chicago, there was a lady that was walking down the street, a normal street, not a busy street, and a part of the building collapsed that she was walking past and fell on her head and damaged her severely. They had to rush her to the hospital. She almost died. And as a result, her life has been completely changed because it was such a bad accident. But what was the chance of her being in that place at that time when those bricks happened to fall? No one else was there. No one else got hit. But she just happened to be at that place when the building collapsed and it fell on her. And she was just the victim of a chance happening, a building falling. And as a result, her whole life has been turned around. It's amazing. A person can walk in a store and buy a lottery ticket and hit half a billion dollar jackpot. That's just chance. That's just someone picking the right numbers and they become a multimillionaire. Now, I don't advise you to do that because most people never win the lottery in that way. But there's some people that chance happening, you become a multimillionaire and your life is complete. It's not because you were the smartest, the fastest, the greatest, you had the most wisdom. You just picked the right numbers on that particular day. And as a result, you became a multimillionaire. It happens all the time. Time and chance. And sometimes people meet the right person. I'm reminded of the story, and I preached this a few weeks ago, that when Michael Jordan came, first when he flew to Chicago, before he was a megastar, there was no one to meet him at the airport except a driver. And because this driver picked him up, he hired this driver, and this driver was connected to Michael Jordan. So that when Michael Jordan began to make all these millions and began to become wealthy, this person was connected to Michael Jordan. Why? Because he happened to be the person that met him at the airport to drive him to where he was going. There was no cameras, no flashlights, no welcoming committee, because he wasn't a star. He was just coming from North Carolina to be in the Chicago Bulls. But that person happened to be the one that met him, and his whole life was changed. Time and chance. And so one of the prayers that I pray is that God, let me be in the right place at the right time. Let time and chance work for me and not against me. Let me say it again. Let time and chance work for me and not against me. Let me not be the victim of some evil chance happening. In Chicago, we have drive-by shootings when innocent people get shot. It wasn't because they were doing anything wrong. They were just in the wrong place at the wrong time and got shot. There was a situation in Chicago where these gangs were shooting at each other and a child got shot in the crossfire. A child. Not because the child was doing anything wrong. It was a chance happening. They were the victim of a chance shooting. And now I believe the child either died or was completely had to be rushed to the hospital, sometimes shot in the head. Well, that's a chance happening. It happens to all of us. All of us are subject to time and chance. Now, I do believe that God is the person that controls time, but I also believe that if we're not careful, and I believe God can warn you about something that's about to happen. An example, I mentioned this in the town of Bethlehem when Herod issued a decree to kill all the babies, and God warned Joseph and Mary to take Jesus out, take him to Egypt. Now imagine that morning when all those families woke up and these armies came in the city and all those babies were killed. Well, the babies didn't do anything. They were just in the city at that time when a murderous decree was released by Herod. So I do believe that God can warn you and God can show you things in a vision, a dream to prevent something like this from happening to you. But no one was guilty of doing anything. They were just in the town and they woke up and babies are being killed. And people didn't say, well, why did this happen? Time and chance. It's important that we be in the right time and that chance works for us and not against us. And it's important that we understand that sometimes people are successful because they happen to be in the right place at the right time. It wasn't because they were the greatest and smart. I believe there are people that are more talented, people that are more skillful, people that have great abilities, but they never ever get the kind of success that someone with lesser talent and lesser ability gets because they were just not in the right place at the right time. They didn't meet the person that the other person met. So it's important that and this is really humbling, because what happens is sometimes when you're successful, it's not because you are so talented and so fast and so great and you can be puffed up. It's just that time and chance worked in your favor and you happen to be at the right chance. I gave this testimony when I first started my ministry. No one knew me in Chicago, and a lady walked into my church that worked for the radio station, and I didn't know her. She said, I have a deal for you, Pastor Eckhardt. I want to give you a half hour on morning radio in Chicago. It's only $50 a half hour, and it was at 5 a.m. And I almost didn't take it because I said that's too early. No one's listening. No wonder it's $50 for a half hour. And so I took a chance. And I took the spot every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 a.m., Chicago. I got on the radio. And when I got on the radio and the Lord told me to pray warfare prayers out of a warfare prayer book by Win Worley, when I began to do that, my ministry exploded. I mean, people began to come to our little church. Oh, we only had a few members. And I mean, they began to come by the hundreds and by the thousands just because I took a chance. Just because I happen to be a person that this lady, now I know God may have connected that together, but my ministry exploded. And there were people in Chicago that probably had greater anointings than I had, but I just happened to have a chance to be on the radio at 5 a.m, half hour on a station that covered the entire Chicago area. And as a result, my ministry began to grow. That was 1984. And it's not been the same since. And so remember, and so I have nothing to boast about. I can't say, well, it's because I was so anointed and so eloquent and I just a great. No, it was time and chance. It worked for me. And I thank God for that. I thank God, but I have nothing to be proud about. You can't be puffed up when time and chance works on your behalf. And we don't want time and chance to work against us. We don't want to be the victims of something tragic. I mean, there's shootings that take place. The shooting in Florida, in the high school, where all these young people were shot and killed. Well, they were in the school doing nothing. And a guy walks in the school with a gun and just begins to kill people. It wasn't because they were doing anything wrong. It wasn't because they were more wicked than anybody else. They were just in that school at that time, and many of them got shot and killed. Unfortunate, but it happens. And so this is a principle in Ecclesiastes that we need to understand. You need to be prayerful, pray that you will not be the victim of chance. Pray that chance will work or opportunity will work on your behalf. Pray that time would be in your favor. Thank God for the time that we're born in, because we have more opportunities in this time than many of our ancestors had. We have breakthroughs because we live in a certain time. We're not living in 1840 in the South. Thank God. My father was born in 1919 in Mount Vernon, Georgia. Can you imagine a black man, 1919, Mount Vernon, Georgia? My father played in the Negro Leagues. My father was a professional baseball player, but he was born in a time when blacks could not play in the major leagues. My father played against Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson played for the Kansas City Monarchs. My father played for the Birmingham Black Barons. They played each other. He knew Jackie Robinson, but my father was an older player. And by the time Jackie Robinson came in 1948, it was too late for my father. But it began to open up. But my father was just born in a time he didn't have access to what we have today. And so sometimes it could be the time you're born in. And unfortunately, we don't understand. And thank God for this time that we're born in, the opportunities that we have to prosper and to break through. They were born in a time when there was no internet. I'm living in a time where I can come on this platform and talk to people around the world. Before, ministers couldn't do that. They didn't have the internet. They didn't have social media. They didn't have Clubhouse and Facebook Live and reach people. It's just a different time, and it happens to everyone. And so I'm blessed today because I'm in a certain time where I can get on and reach people around the world and to connect with people around the world. I thank God for that. I know it's not because of me. I don't have anything to brag about. It's just that time and opportunity and chance is working on my behalf. So I pray that even though you may not be the most skillful, you may not be the strongest, you may not be the fastest, you may not be the most talented, but time and chance, I pray that time and opportunity will work on your behalf, that you'll have breakthroughs and success because of time and chance. Because many of us, we were prosperous, not because we were the smartest or the best or the fastest or the strongest. The race is not given to the swift. The battle is not given to the strong. Wealth is not given often to men of understanding, but time and chance happens to us all. Father, I pray that even those who feel as if I'm not the smartest, the strongest, the fastest, I don't know the right people, but Lord, let them meet the right person. Let them connect with that one person that will turn their life around. If they meet them on an airplane, if they meet them in an airport, if they meet them in a place where you ordinarily wouldn't even believe that a divine connection could happen. Lord, I thank you that you're doing something in our lives that will cause us to prosper and be successful. This word is really for the underdog. This word is for those who feel as if I'm not the smartest, I'm not the strongest, I'm not the fastest, I'm not the most talented, I can't dunk a basketball, I'm not a LeBron James, I'm not a Michael Jordan, I can't sing the way some people sing. But time and chance can work on your behalf, and you can find yourself prospering because you meet the right person, you're in the right place, you have an opportunity, you take advantage of that opportunity, and as a result, you see great breakthroughs and great favor and great prosperity in your life. Ecclesiastes 9:11, time and chance happens to us all. Okay, I'm going to sign off of Facebook and go into Clubhouse. And I want you to, again, watch me tomorrow morning, same time, 9:15 a.m. Don't forget to sow your seed today for what we're doing around the world. And as always, in departing, until you hear from us again, God bless you and double shalom.